Okay, welcome my channel, Romy Boy. Sa di pa nakasubscribe, pag-subscribe, maraming salamat. Ito ang reaksyon at balita ngayon.
Therefore, ang tingin ko is yun yung that's one way of dealing with that issue. May mga iba ang interpretation nila ay china-challenge nilang ilabas yung mga kopya na yan. But I don't think so. Kasi may timing ang lahat. So, may timing ang lahat ng ito. Bakit ko sinasabing may timing? Bakit sinasabi na hindi pwedeng ilabas yan ngayon? Okay. Ang tingin ko dyan is, the reason naghihinala ang administrasyon dito kay VP Inday at kay former President Duterte, hinala, take note, is because of the GMA formula. Okay? Noon, nung si GMA ay Vice President, there are two versions of this, no? Nagkaroon ng coup, supposedly, well, quote-unquote, or a rebellion, and they were able to take over. Ang ruling ng Supreme Court doon is on whether or not maaaring tumakbo pa si GMA. Ang sabi ng Korte Suprema, dahil umabot ng 2 years, yes, entitled si GMA to another term of 6 years. Nung umabot ng 3 years, 2 or 3 years, 2 years, I think, ay umabot, 2.5, ay because of that, maaari pa siyang tumakbo ng isang term. So, ito kasi yung reason kung bakit very insecure at very worried ang administrasyon dun sa mga Duterte. We know that VP Inday had no plans of anything. We know that President Duterte has repeatedly said he is retired, he's no longer seeking office. Although once in a while, sinasabi niya, takbo kaya ako. If in-impeach si Inday, I will have no choice but to return to politics. So, yun yung konteksto. Kaya worried yung administrasyon, baka sila ma-erap. 'Di ba? At kung ma-erap sila, hindi yan gagawin ng maaga pa lang within the first year. Kasi dahil yung Supreme Court ruling, parang 2 years or more pa kailangan para ma-entitle yung VP to run for another term. And therefore, it is important for former President Duterte to indicate and send a strong signal na wala siyang interest, na he's not interested in any kind of takeover, na wala siyang interest dun sa sa pagpapalit ng leadership, and that he himself is retired. He did not even talk to any of the military, di ba? Wala siyang kausap na PNP kasi sabi niya, sinong siraulong military o pulis ang maniniwala sa akin? Bakit pupunta sila sa akin? So he also denied that in the same interview. Ngayon, like I said, nobody yet really knows except for the people who actually hold it, if that video exists. Okay? Ngayon, this is what I think worries people. Is indicative of something. Kasi tignan ninyo, bakit worried ang administrasyon? Bakit sila worried to the point that they don't address the issue? Dinededma nila. And at the point where a lot of people, it's starting to snowball, kailangan i-address nila yung issue na ito because it might have a destabilizing effect. Diba? Now, the rule always is for any government to protect itself. The state protects itself. Okay? So yung mga nagsasabing, bakit hindi nilalabas yung video? Because if there is an intent, I'm not saying there's any. What I'm saying is, if there is an intent or they want to make sure that there is a way out. Kasi pag lumabas yung video na yan, there will be hell to pay, so to speak. We know that this administration, particularly acting through the Congress, can have a tendency to be oppressive. So, kung lumabas ang video na yan, kailangan may counter threat. And the counter threat is that should there be an uprising, a legal one or whatever, then there is a possibility of a 9-year presidency for the one who takes over. Okay? So naintindihan nyo kung bakit timing yan. That's why no matter what you say, no matter what the pressure, yung sabi ng sabi, ilabas nyo yan, hindi yan ilalabas if it exists. Okay? On a strategic viewpoint, if it does exist, hindi yan talaga lalabas ngayon. Kasi masyadong maaga. Look, hypothetically, let's say there is a president, Philippine president, and unstable siya. If early in his term, let's say within 1 year, he has to cede his position and it goes to the vice president. The vice president will only serve for the term vacated by the president. Gets nyo? Pero kung after 2 years ay nag-take over yung vice president because the president is incapacitated, that vice president can run for another 6 years, giving her a 9-year term based on the GMA formula. Okay? I have no opinion on this. You'll have to stop asking me opinions for now. Okay? Okay. So, I hope everybody gets it. So, it is a matter of timing. So, the challenge na if it exists, then dapat lumabas na yan. But for those sorry, my dog came back from the hospital. Okay. So if it does exist and the people want to make sure that they have a fallback position, oo na he may sugat siya, he had surgery, so he just came back. So if whoever it is, if the vice president or whatever interest group, no, not the vice president, wala siya talaga interest, and I can say that based on my personal knowledge. Now, if there is a group that wants to take over, okay, then they cannot allow the takeover to be by right of succession right now. Kasi based on the GMA formula, sino man ang mag-take over when the president has served less than 2 years or 3 years, then that successor can only serve for the remainder of the term, which means 3 years. Okay? But if it is 3 years, then they, 3 years or more, then that person who succeeds can still run for another term. So yun po ang hindi na nakikita ng mga nagcha-challenge. Yung mga nagsasabi na oy, kung totoo yan, ba't di nilalabas? Kasi masama pa ang timing. Okay? So, why did I use this one? Bakit ito ang tingin natin na na possibility? Because ever since, from the start, alam natin na ang kapraningan ng administrasyon kay VP Inday is baka sila ma-erap. Okay? Now, bakit sila praning na baka sila ma-erap? Because they are aware that for so many months already, or for over a year or so, sino tong si why are you so clean? Ano sinasabi mo? Sino kausap nyo? Wala naman akong sinabing clean. Pinagsasabi nito. Okay, next. So, kung right of succession, di ba? Kung may magsasucceed sa presidency, the amount of time that successor will serve will depend on how long this president serves. So, yung kapraningan nga will, kasi kung less than, kung remainder lang ng term ng presidente, then 2028, yung elections will still be hit or miss. We don't know who will win. Di ba? Okay. Sabi ni PBK, kaya pala may nagsasabing something might happen and so and so. So magmo-monitor din pala ako ng magmo-monitor din ako kasi yung dito sa sa Luminous Group hindi lumilitaw yung name so I have to check the name. The names. Ayan. Give me a second, guys. There you go. Guys, talaga natawag ko sa inyo. All right, there. Okay, so we know na which ones will So yung mga ganyan na comments, for example, why are you so clean? You're going to have to relate it. What is your antecedent fact? Okay. So, but take note that this is a theory. Of course, we don't know this for a fact. We don't know if this is what we call a logical scenario given why kasi kung a person holds this and knows that he or she has a capacity to wreak havoc or to create a wide impression of incompetence due to corruption of the current administration, then, di ba, nasa interest nga nilang ilabas yan. And they know that if you say that a video exists, but you don't bring it out, people will say, it's not likely to exist. So, nagkakaroon sila ngayon ng pressure to bring it out. Pero very confident sila that the video exists and very confident sila of the timing of bringing it out. Hindi sila nape-pressure to bring it out. And on this one, then we will have to bring in another factor. And that factor is the possibility of a GMA formula. Yun, sabi ni Rafael Bautista, ERAP had the Jose Velarde envelope, BBM, the Polvoron video. Now, kung ito yung magiging context, okay, I will bring your attention once more to ERAP. Now, ERAP was undergoing an impeachment trial. Does this sound familiar to you? Diba? What happened a few months ago? May nadulas, may nagkwento sa media na pinag-uusapan na may impeachment. Okay? Who was supposed to be impeached a few ago? Because if that person is not removed, then she has the right of succession in case something happens. Diba? In case that that the current president is challenged. Okay. So yun. Ang nakakatawa dito is because I'm also monitoring the negative comments. No, you're not, okay. So, we're monitoring the negative comments and merong mga nagpipilit na ilabas yan if it exists. But again, what I'm saying here is that there is a plausible reason why it is not coming out. There is a plausible reason why this one is very carefully kept also. Okay? Now, why don't they want an immediate succession? Kasi it means that the term of the successor will only be for the balance of the term of this president. So hanggang 2028 lang. So kung hanggang 2028 lang, mayroon pang mga malalakas dyan who can challenge this presidency in the next presidency. Kumbaga, what if and this is just a what if, this is purely hypothetical. What if the speaker runs for president in 2028? Yeah. If you're going to keep yourself safe, you want to make sure that in 2028, whoever the candidates are, you have the strong candidate. So, natatawa ako dun sa mga mga toxic comments kasi kasi they're losing logic eh. Okay? Nakakatawa eh. Yun. Nakakatawa na yung because I don't think they saw this coming. They didn't see these explanations. So may panabla talaga. People who keep saying walang video kasi kung sakasakaling walang video, kung sakasakaling meron, dapat lumabas na yan. And even President Duterte is saying that. Why? Because the timing is still bad. Okay? At least siya may reason siya for saying that. Wala yan. So, kailangan humupa yung speculation about the video. But wala namang kasing mawawala if later, when the time is right, then lumabas yan. Again, I'd like to emphasize, this is a theory. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but this is the plausible reason kung bakit hindi yan nilalabas. Of course, pwede rin namang walang video kaya hindi yan lumalabas, di ba? So, but on the other hand, why are they so scared? Ito yung issue dyan eh. If the video doesn't exist, then these people don't have anything to worry about. The ones who have everything to lose have nothing to worry about. Walang video eh. Diba? There's no video. So, it doesn't, of course, hindi siya natatabla completely, but at least pwede mong sabihin, naman, you have to present the thing. May rule kasi sa evidence na there's no, what we call the best evidence rule. So, there's no best evidence other than the video. You can talk about the video, you can say that it exists, you can have pictures of the video, like, sino ba yan? Si Ignacio Buñe, di ba? I have 2 discs, the left and the right. Remember this? Ignacio Buñe was the press secretary or spokesperson of President GMA when she was accused of stealing the elections, and she was recorded. So nung lumalabas na yung nung lumabas yung audio na yan, what happened? Secretary Buñe had to address the issue, so he had to have his left and right audio recordings. Di ba? Natatawa na ako dun sa mga comments. Hindi, natatawa ako because of the comments. Walang nag-expect, so they don't know how to answer that possibility. But these things exist. At alam naman natin to. All I'm giving is a plausible theory as to why that video isn't coming out. Now, also the other reason why so many people believe that there is a video and that it exists is because the administration refuses to acknowledge it. Na at some point, pag widespread na yung belief na yan, your failure to acknowledge it has a destabilizing effect. Okay? Yes, theory din yung video. Ano ba kayo? Meron ba nakakita ng video? Wala naman sinasabi dito na it definitely exists, di ba? But there is evidence to indicate that regardless of whether it exists or not, the administration, which should be reacting by now, is not doing so. And instead, undertaking activities that indicate that there is something wrong. O bakit nawawala yung mga ibang vloggers? Bakit na-take down? At hindi na coincidental. Maharlika, Banatbay, Sas, and then Joey. What's the rule? 1 is an act of God, 2 is a coincidence, 3 is human intervention. And yes, that's science-based. Okay. Eto si Wanda, sinasabi, wala naman pala. Ma'am, hindi ko sinasabing wala. Ang sinasabi ko is nobody knows if it exists or not. However, there is evidence that the evidence is starting to weigh in favor of its existence. Ano ang kinatatakutan ng mga nasa gobyerno kung hindi totoo, kung walang video. Okay? So, natatawa na ako dun sa ano. I'm sorry. I apologize if it seems insulting. But, so, so yun. Sabi ni Agustin, sobrang planning nila, nang-take down na sila ng FB, di kaya magtataka ka din. Oo. So sabi ni Gerald, scenario po, what if HOR impeaches Sara? Who will be next in line? Wait, the HOR, can only conduct an impeachment, but the impeachment trial still has to be done by the so the impeachment still needs, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. The impeachment still has to be done by, the impeachment trial still needs to be done by the Senate. Pero tama yung pagkagamit mo na it's the House that impeaches because impeachment means you go to trial. Now, but what you're saying is that if the HOR impeaches, meaning matanggal si VP, then said video is released, did the succession, no, ganito yan, di ba? We talked about a vacancy in the office of the Vice President. Kapag may presidente pero nawala for whatever reason yung Vice President, to fill up that position, hindi po Senate President at walang succession for Vice President. Ibig sabihin, the President will choose from the House or the Senate and they will affirm, voting separately or jointly, whoever is going to be put in there. So, remember GMA? She was Vice President, she became the President. She chose Chofisto Gingona to be her Vice President. And at the time, he was in Congress, in the House. So, kinuha niya yung, that's how it's done. So, if the Vice President, the office of the Vice President is vacant, the President chooses the replacement. So, para dun sa mga hindi naniniwala, I think it's Article 9 sa Constitution. Check nyo lang. Sabi ni Glenn, kailan kaya ang right time to expose the video? Wait, you're assuming there's a video. So, assuming, dapat ganon. Assuming there is a video, when is the right time to expose it? It will depend. Diba? It will also depend on whether or not it is actually incendiary. Remember yung envelope nung kay Erap? Yung Jose Velarde Erap envelope? Yung impeachment ni Erap? Hindi naman ganun kalala yung nasa loob ng envelope, but the senators were so desperate to exclude it. Diba? So, yun yung nila. Yun yung indication. People then started to believe that the envelope was important. So, nung hindi pinakita yan, Kenny, over here. Nung hindi pinakita yung laman ng envelope, edi lalong yung mga tao. Kenny, that's my other cat. I have, no, yeah, he's hungry. Go to Ate. So, again, Maharlika says that there is one. For us, she's the only one who knows with certainty, even if she has not actually seen it, that the video exists. And she says that ang basis niya for believing this is because it's being sold. Well, there are attempts to sell it. I don't know if anybody actually bought it. Sabi ni JC, Erapos in office less than 2 years. So, but the GMA, so January 20, 2001, 2 years, less than 2 years. Ayan. Ang galing nga ng GMA formula kasi dapat yan, dapat yan 3 years dapat nasa 3-year level pero nakakuha siya ng ruling from the Supreme Court that allowed her to run again. So if that is the precedent, then she can whoever is the successor here, whoever takes over, assuming that all of these things happen, uh, could do so only after the 2-year period has expired. Okay? Other questions? Sabi ni Ray, the Hello Garci controversy was at its peak, correct? The AFP and the PNP were about to take action, but the question was who will succeed? Nolly was seen to be very weak, so that's how GMA survived. I knew it because I was deeply embedded then in the war room during that time. Ay, congratulations. I'm glad there's somebody here with personal knowledge. Sabi nga ni Turquoise Blue, aba, ngayong hapon po sa vlog ni Maharlika, hinamon na niya ang House na tawagin na siya sa Kongreso para mapatunayan kung meron nga ba talaga o wala. So, ilang ano na lang ba? It's January, so July pala dapat. Mm-mm. Please. Alright. Sabi ni Abu or Hell sa Luminous Group, assuming may video, pwedeng gamitin yung illegal wiretapping para hindi mapakita sa hukom yung video? Kailangan, well, yeah, of course, it will, kikilatisin yan ng hindi, pwedeng, ang court yung mag-decide, pwedeng ipakita siya sa court, isasubmit siya pa rin sa court. Pero magmo-motion yung lawyers to exclude it from being considered as evidence. Regardless of whether the judge sees it or not. Pwede kasing makita or pwede ring, we are presenting as evidence ganito, ganito. I-oppose ng prosecution or ng defense, depende who's submitting it, i-oppose ng defense saying that it is illegal wiretap and therefore fruit of the poison tree. So pagka ganon, hindi pwedeng isumite, hindi pwedeng i-consider yan as evidence. Absolutely barred siya if it is wiretapped evidence. Sino yung nagsusorry at bakit po kayo nagsusorry? CRTB asks, when did the COMELEC formulate the... That's not the COMELEC, it's the Supreme Court po. Sabi ni Bobby Rubio, so anong dapat namin gawin pag panoorin at ito-tolerate na lang ba namin ginagawa ni Smug at Kuting? Well, if you have issues with the administration, then you must speak up pa rin. Diba? Bakit? May mawawala ba if you stop talking? Nobody is saying that you should stop being critical. Nobody is saying that we cannot keep educating people on the mistakes, the incompetence, if any, of this administration. Nobody is saying you have to stop. Yeah? Nobody is saying you have to continue either. The idea is if there is something wrong going on, don't keep it to yourself. Sabi ni Kenneth, wala po bang sisilip sa PCSO? May nanalo na namang loan better. May nanalo na naman. Parang linggo-linggo nga may nananalo. The problem is, yung statistical improbability is not yet an acceptable allegation sa Supreme Court. So, pwede sigurong manawagan tayo ng investigasyon sa PCSO kasi but we need to support that with statistical evidence. Tanong natin kina Dr. Guido, 'di ba? Ito, sabi ni Laong Laan, Kung may video ba, automatic na tanggal siya o may trial pa mangyayari? It really depends. In the ERAP envelope, there was an impeachment trial ongoing, tapos sumabog na lang yung galit ng mga tao and then there was a takeover. Di ba? The reason I put it in question marks is because challenge talaga yung legality ng pag-takeover at that time. So, yun. So, kailangan may impeachment proceeding. Ako, para sa akin it would be better if there was an impeachment proceeding. And later on baka magkakaroon ng succession if mayroon ng guilty verdict. Sabi ni Rose, tuloy po ba yung petition for withdrawal of support? Wala na kasi po, di na ma-access. Yun lang naman kasi ang paraan para maka-voice out kaming mga citizens. No ma'am, you can voice out just by posting online on your social media. Now, bakit po nawala? Kasi mayroon pong nag-file doon sa change.org to remove it. Saying, I think that it was illegal or immoral or something like that. Sabi ni Antonio, kahit pinatay nila yung FBN, na-expose na yung mga, at halatang may kinatatakutan din sila, and they don't want to keep these people talking. Okay. Hi kay Venom Snake. Bago daw siyang nag-subscribe dito sa YouTube. O yung mga hindi pa nagsusubscribe sa YouTube, hindi ko po nakikita pa yung mga sinasabi ninyo. Pwede po bang hahalili ang iba maliban kay VP pansamantala hanggang umabot ng 3 years tapos ipasa na kayo? Mamadali kayo, ma'am. Para sa akin, I don't know if that's even possible. Di ba? Sabi ni Alan, ako lang ba ang nasad after napanood si FPRRD kagabi? Kanina, well, ninaintindihan ko because what he keeps saying is that retired na siya and he's not in politics anymore. And remember, sinabi niya na posibleng tumakbo siya for Senate or later, or maybe for Congress later. If VP Inday is impeached. Pero kung wala namang issues with this government, then he is enjoying his retirement.